Personal Call came about late in 2020, when COVID-19 was still shutting down any opportunity for conventional drama. Not only could there be no audience, but the actors would also have to stay distant from each other. Shane Valley, WATERFORDrama's director, explains.
In order to do this show, we've had to follow some important safety protocols because of COVID-19. Protocols that were given to us by the state, that were given to us by Ledgelight Health District. So in order for the actors to be able to take their masks off to perform, they have to be at least 12 feet away from everyone else. So we've created this kind of pizza sort of shape on the stage. And we even asked one of the members of our math department here at Waterford High School, because I didn't remember my geometry, of how much of a radius I needed in the circle to be able to have 8 actors 12 feet apart on the stage. So he figured out that's a little more than 15 feet, so we created this big space. Everyone was safe, everyone was able to take their masks off when they performed. When they were not performing, they would have their masks on. The crew had to have their masks on, but we certainly needed to follow all safety protocols, and we're just happy we're giving something to our audience to watch.
Personal Call was first broadcast live by the BBC in 1954. Having COVID restrictions and, well, not being the BBC, WATERFORDrama produced its version more like a film. Each scene was recorded as an audio take, and then all were edited together for a YouTube presentation. Microphones could not be shared, so Shane ran each actor's mic separately into the multi-channel recording software. Per COVID protocol, the crew wiped down any mic that changed hands between takes.
There's a perfectly diabolical cocktail.
Hello?
Or would you rather have sherry?
Yes,
Oh,
Kensington
cocktail,
34598.
myself right under the
What?
table, and George will have
Just
to
a
carry me
moment,
home.
please. I can't
Won't be the
hear
first
you.
time either.
The story begins during a party at the Brent home, when James Brent gets a mysterious call. Or is it so mysterious? Someone named Faye is on the line, and at the mention of the name, James becomes unnerved.
Hello? James?
Who's speaking?
Don't you know? It's Faye.
Who did you say? Sorry, the line's bad and there's lots of noise going on here.
It's Faye.
What did you say?
It's Faye, James. Don't you remember?
Who are you? Where are you speaking from?
I'm at Newton Abbot Station, where you left me.
What's that? Who is this?
I told you. I'm Faye.
Later, he admits to himself that there is a connection, and we are drawn into the caller's unfolding story.
Faye. I wasn't dreaming it. She said Faye. And it was her voice, too. Who the devil can have been playing a trick on me?
By now, you've likely noticed that all the actors are in costume, even though they can't be seen by the listening audience. Shane's thought was to help them stay in character, and Maddie, who plays James's wife Pam, agrees.
Yeah, I feel like wearing the costumes definitely helped since we're, far apart and we can't really interact. I think it helped, especially for me, get into the, the mode in the scene and trying to picture if I was actually acting it out and how I would respond and if I looked at someone. So I think the costumes definitely helped get me in that mode.
But if the costumes weren't apparent to the listening audience, the ever-present British accent, this is Agatha Christie after all, certainly was.
What you wish done with it? Shall it remain in our keeping, or would you like it sent to your bank? I understand that you and your husband are going abroad tomorrow.
Using it was enjoyable for some actors, for others, not so much.
I do enjoy doing a British accent, I'm going to be honest. And I feel my character was not the most complex in the world, which is great for me because I was able to get into it relatively well.
How do you like doing accents?
I hate it. so much. I don't like it that much. I mean, like, some accents are nice, but when I have to be serious, I don't like it.
Hello? Yes?
Just a moment, please. Go ahead, you're through.
James, it's me again.
Faye?
Yes, Faye.
Now look here. What's the meaning of all this? What kind of a game is it?
It's not a game, James.
If you think you're going to get me...
The intrigue deepens when next day James hears again from Faye, calling from the Newton Abbot railway station. At first impatient, he soon becomes alarmed.
Haven't you even noticed what time it is?
What do you mean?
The time. It's 7:15. Don't you remember?
Shut up.
How rough you are, James, darling. But you do see what I mean, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about. What the hell do you want anyway?
I want you to come and meet me here.
This has got to stop, I tell you. It's got to stop. Hello? 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 Are you there? Damn!
But this time, his wife Pam has been listening in on the upstairs extension. She confronts him, and James finds he has to reveal some important details of his past, clues in the emerging mystery.
James, who is Faye?
Damn! What do you mean, Faye? What do you know about Faye?
I know that she's a woman who rings you up on a personal call, and that she wants you to come and meet her somewhere, and that she seems to know you rather well.
You simply don't understand.
You're only too right, I don't.
It isn't the least what you think.
Isn't it?
No, dear. Of course it isn't. As a matter of fact, well, Faye's the name of my first wife.
You told me her name was Florence.
So it was, but I always called her Faye.
So, your former wife, who has been dead for over a year, rings you up on the telephone. Most remarkable.
Sound effects were an essential part of Personal Call. Some, such as James dropping his drink a moment ago, were pre-recorded and added later, while others were done real-time. Rebecca left, and Jess were on hand to manage these sound effects, with some of the actors also pitching in. There were sounds of a telephone, doors opening and closing, a tea kettle, a drink being poured, and of course that drink being dropped, as shown earlier. And, since a railway station is key to the plot, steam locomotives were simulated, as well as the clatter of train wheels and the rolling of a luggage cart. One of the advantages of recording the show was that Shane could do the occasional retake, sometimes for only a line or two, and give notes to the actors in real time if something needed fine-tuning.
Workers. So, just, hello Bertha, seen a ghost? First of all, I would split them up slightly. Hello Bertha! Like you're just having fun. Oh, and then you see her. Oh, seen a ghost? Alright, add a little bit more character to this, because right now, just when I was listening to it last night, I was like, hello Bertha, seen a ghost. Alright?
In general, however, each scene was run all the way through with as many actors as needed. With James and Pam nearly ready to go on holiday in France, Faye calls one more time. James is not home, so it is Pam who takes the chilling call.
Can Mr. James Brent take a personal call from Newton Abbot?
Oh, he's out.
Can you say when he'll be available?
I don't quite know. This is Mrs. James Brent speaking. Perhaps I would do instead?
Just a moment, please.
So far away, it's very difficult.
Can you hear me?
This is Pamela Brent. Who are you?
I'm Faye Morton. I know who you are. Don't travel by train with him.
What? I couldn't quite hear you.
Don't travel by train.
Hello? 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 Hello?
We leave the story here and invite you to enjoy the entire broadcast with its ultimate resolution. A link appears at the end of this presentation. As you've noticed already, we invited the actors and crew to share their experiences. Not surprisingly, they all missed doing live shows and were happy to have worked on Personal Call.
I thought it was nice getting to actually do something for drama this year. Definitely didn't expect to be able to have an experience. Like last spring we got cut off in our musical, which was tough. It was just nice getting to see everyone again.
I liked it because we were actually able to do something because with sports some things aren't able to go, so it was nice being able to do something.
You know, just being able to come here and see my friends and act even though we have COVID as a barrier was also just like, you know, a gift. And I still have, you know, that feeling of the energy of being with people.
They offered various thoughts on vocal acting and getting into character.
Yeah, so it's nice practicing it over and over again, even if you have words in front of you, because you can do it in different ways. And if Shane says he likes something, like you can write it down so you have that right next to you, and you can play around. Even though you're reading, you're still acting. I would say it was more difficult to get into character because when there's people coming to see it, it almost you have more adrenaline to pull it off.
I thought it was pretty easy to get into character because there wasn't as much nerves. I can kind of just clear my mind and think that I'm in the area that I'm in, I'm the person that I am, that it was just easier to kind of disconnect myself.
I found it a little bit harder in the fact that I couldn't like act, and it was all vocal acting. It wasn't like method acting. You had to really focus on the voice rather than the actions you were doing.
The audience itself is almost like an animal or a creature that you feel the energy from the audience and you want to give back, which really just personally it makes my performance a lot better.
Yeah, because it's a lot easier to be funny and know that you're doing something right when you get a reaction from it. I thought it was a lot calmer, less stress. You didn't have to memorize your lines, so less conflict with, you know, knowing what you were supposed to do and getting your cue right and stuff.
Without an audience, there was definitely a lot less energy to like feed off of, which made it feel a lot different for me. What I really loved was being in front of the crowd and getting to feed off of like their reactions to what we were doing. It really made everything feel more powerful.
But live audience or no, actors and crew alike all enjoyed Personal Call, and we hope you will too.
I liked it. I thought it was very fun and very different experience than the other shows.
Yeah, I'd say that this was a very enjoyable experience. I think this is a very creative way to end up doing a drama production, and it was very fun.
It was a lot of fun. Very different from a normal play, but I did have fun.
Less stressful and kind of nice, just like all being here, and we know what we're doing. We have the script, and we got this.